So
Man,
like
y'all
a ghetto
lame.
philosopher.
You see how look check this
no,
out.
that
No,
nah,
because
how we
you know
lame?
what?
How we lame?
You lame because I'm hating.
I didn't have sex until I was 19.
I didn't even know y'all. They made y'all still. No. To me, you right. Like I did. I always had a condom, and I was always prepared, and it never happened.
African American women. That's what I focus on. That's my preference. Petite, long, pretty hair. Like I have it down to.
Oh, really?
They feet got to be nice.
Long,
you know,
You're not gonna end up in any of that.
You're not because you.
You know what I mean? Like not come at them. Like I don't want that. Your cookie has crumbled. Ew. So that's not good. But go ahead.
But yeah, like I even with old girl that had a dude, I was like, nah, I'm straight, and she was like, why? I was like, cause you got a dude. I was like, and she was like, but it's cool. I was like, yeah, but you didn't give me the option.
Right.
You didn't give me an option to decide. You know what I'm saying? And so I can't fool with that because that means you'll put me in other situations I shouldn't be in without you telling me.
Look at this. How old was you?
Damn.
16. Yo, bright, smart face.
Hey, bro.
Like, why do you even know to look at it that way?
Well, yeah.
When I grew up, I
grew up with an older brother. You know what I'm saying? And so,
Man,
like
y'all
a ghetto
lame.
philosopher.
You see how look check this
no,
out.
that
No,
nah,
because
how we
you know
lame?
what?
How we lame?
You lame because I'm hating. Like you don't think I want to make better decisions at a younger age?
But look, brother, you start now. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't need to start. I'm just saying.
I was like that though.
Yeah.
I was. Look, let me tell you something.
Y'all lame.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
I know Biggs was I lame.
I to this day, and I still don't know. Even honestly, I don't even know like what my mother knows about this or thinks or whatever, if she even remember. But I mean, proud to say or whatever. It's just a fact. I didn't have sex until I was 19.
I didn't even know y'all. They made y'all still.
But look. Let me tell you something. 17. I was so worried because I thought I was supposed to go to prom, and I was supposed to go to prom with a girl. I think I was a junior. Yeah. And she was a senior.
You was 19 as a junior?
No. That's what I'm about to say. No, this is about sex. It's about sex. So, but I was supposed to go to prom when I was a junior and she was senior, but it was another school. Right. And so, like, whatever, everything was all set. We were supposed to go. I had a tux. My uncle, the one who passed away, my Uncle Jess, he had a limo business, and I was going to have the limo from his company and everything. All this was set, right? Come to find out, the girl went to the prom with somebody else. And I found out because, you know.
You wasn't putting out?
No. It's still. So, but she went to the prom with somebody else, right? And it was like, but I was ready, right? Because I was laughing when you were talking about like the idea of it, right? And it's like, oh, when it's prom, that's time to get it. So I had my condoms. I had the ones the flavor. I had the ones for us. You know what I'm saying? I had the whatever.
You had all that?
Oh, I was ready, bro. I had
you was
hey, it was like it was bro. I'm saying I did. So listen, you remember back in the day when we used to have the boombox?
Yeah.
And the boombox had the speakers. You can separate the speakers and you can plug them in to the main system. But in the back it's got where you can put the batteries. So I hid the condoms in the back where the batteries go. Oh. But I didn't go to the prom, right? That's a whole nother story, but I didn't go. She went with somebody else.
Them condoms still there too.
Bruh.
They charged.
Listen. A whole year goes by. I was a junior. My senior year goes by.
Yeah.
I go off. I go to the military. I left 3 days after high school graduation. I was away for like a year. I came back home, and I think the first time I got back was March of 2000 when I got that HP Pavilion. Right. And I go back and I'm in the room and my mom, the room is just like I left it, right? Wow. But that damn radio was sitting on the bed with the back open. And my mom was like, what's this? Bruh, how many years? And she did not believe. She thought I was tainted because she thought this whole time I was fucking in school. And I didn't get nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I was just that way. You know what I mean? Yeah, I had a girlfriend and, we did stuff, but I hadn't had sex. But like, I was so conscious of that. And I was that young.
No,
you get what I'm saying?
No, you was going to do it on that night.
I thought I was. I wanted to be.
I know, so you were still tainted.
But see, here the thing was.
Opportunity didn't present.
The cool thing back in the day, and I'm sure we can remember this. Sorry. but the cool thing back in the day was to have a condom. The cool thing back in the day was no.
I ain't never had one like that.
Ooh, baby, I like it raw.
From my side, the cool thing was to have. If you had that little circle in your wallet, you know what I'm saying? You was somebody.
That was kid and play.
And you didn't know.
Yeah, I ain't had no wallet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was straight. Everything in one pocket.
Let me shut up.
To me, you're right. Like, I did. I always had a condom, and I was always prepared, and it never happened. It always happened when it wasn't supposed to happen.
But that's what it was. I didn't think that I was gonna have sex on that prom night, but I'm just saying, like, when we talk about the society, but everybody just talked about it. That's what it was. Like, oh, it's prom night. You know what's gonna happen. Right. And it's like, and you going with an older girl. It's like,
man, I went to so many proms that I had sex like one time.
Straight up.
And the girl was younger than me. She was faster than me. She was like, yeah.
Well, all right. So
I walk quietly. I'm listening to this. I'm listening to y'all. I'm like, I move quietly. I learned.
Okay.
Majority of the women I've had in my life gave it to me because I moved quietly. I didn't talk about it. I ain't brag about it. I ain't act like I was a professional. I just moved. I took my time to get to know them.
What about pleasing? Hang on. What about pleasing? And are y'all ever, or have you ever been like nervous or worried about pleasing the person that you with? You think you wasn't gonna be able to like put it down?
I've felt like that a couple times.
If you didn't, your ass know something that most men,
yeah, you always
like nervous. You don't know what it's like until you do it.
I mean, I'm always nervous. I know I'm cold, but I'm still nervous. You know what I'm saying?
Cold? What you mean you cold? Oh, you cold?
Oh, I was like, but I'm nervous. You know what I'm saying? Because it could be this day could be the fluke. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always nervous. Like I can be like this might be the day where I just don't show, my game off. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I be nervous.
No, so that's wonderful because because
nobody wants to Giannis Antetokounmpo they need. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to.
Right. Nobody want to be known as he weak. Don't do that, man. Like,
that was a fear, but I didn't have that fear. But I'm Korean, right? So the stereotypes with Far East Asian men.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
Y'all didn't heard that though, so y'all don't listen. Man, shut up. Anyways, before I was rudely interrupted by these African Americans. No, but I'm saying like it played a significant role with me, right? I ain't gonna lie. What I realized through my journey is that if a girl like you, and you put some effort in, it don't even matter because she sees that you bigger than sex. And throughout the time, like you get better and you realize, this is what I'll say this. This is so crazy. It was a young lady who had sex with, a friend of mine who's known to be well hung. And she was like, you work so much harder than him and it's way more funner with you. And I was like, are you just saying that? She was like, nah, because he got it, he ain't got to do nothing. That shit hurt anyway. Like, the sex is supposed to be an experience.
Supposed to be enjoyable.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. When I say an experience, not a bad one. I'm talking about like.
A good experience.
Yeah, for sure. And it was like, when a woman enjoys it with you, she's going to do it again. Because she thinks it's gonna get better. But if you already think you got it and you don't put no work in, she was like, does he even like me? Or is he just doing this to be doing it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mel, how would you react if you did have sex with a woman? I know you're married, but we're doing this type of stuff. But you know what I'm saying? But if you did have sex with a woman and she was like, that ain't that's the milk's gone bad. like how would you respond to that?
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That's a hard question for me. I feel.
Humble brag. Humble brag.
No, I'm saying like no.
Hey, I don't know what that world look like, y'all. I'm sorry.
Not
apologize
like
to the fans.
No, but what I'm saying like I don't know. Like it's almost like a form of rejection almost. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so you got to accept it. You know what I'm saying?
Give me another chance.
Right. And you know what I'm saying? I think my ego will kick in and be like, oh, okay. Well, I just didn't show up today. You know
I had the flu. I had the flu.
Everybody don't have a perfect game every time. You know what I'm saying? And so I just have to accept it and go on by my merry old way. I wouldn't say nothing.
Whoa, hold up. I find it interesting how you compared it to a game. Like everybody ain't on their game every time. What sport do you play?
I play basketball and football.
Play basketball.
Okay.
If you had an off game, how you gonna fix your game?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely gonna reflect.
But you get what I'm saying? Like you go in the gym, you work on that shot. You missed a lot of free throws. You get on the line. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever.
I've never seen no coochie gym. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm just saying.
It's called Miss Michigan.
But listen, look, what you gonna hear a lot of when we have conversations here is you gonna hear me always talk about communication. Right. So if that's somebody that you want to be with, I would think. That would have been my response.
Right.
Like, I'm not telling you what to say, but my response would have been like, well, why wasn't it?
Well, you didn't say if it's somebody. You just said if I was with somebody.
Okay, but you can run with it. Alley-oop.
Okay. Are you saying that all of your experiences through sex have been great for the woman?
I've never been told that it wasn't good.
No, but women aren't completely honest about everything.
No, I'm not saying they are.
Every woman that you've been with has been a relationship. Right, so how was I supposed to know that you was talking about a relationship? You know, hey, that loaded question. You know what I'm saying? It loaded the question up for me. Like, I'm saying like a relationship.
Let me go into my John D. shell.
You gotta do that.
Yes, you do. Don't do that.
I don't know. I don't see that.
Yeah. You do that sometimes.
I ain't seen it yet. I be watching all the videos.
That's because you're doing it. You in your shell. You can't see all of it.
Exactly.
I watch all the videos.
He does watch all the videos. Yes, he does.
But yeah, like that's a different scenario.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, if it was somebody, you know.
Well, I would think.
You would think what?
Look, I'm not saying I've always been in love every time I had sex, and I'm not saying that I was always in a relationship. But ultimately, what I want to do is I want to enjoy the experience.
For sure.
And I want to satisfy who I'm with.
I agree.
And whomever that person is, if they was like, okay, I've never had somebody tell me like, yo, that shit was whack. Right. But you have conversations about, you know what I would like? You know what I'm saying? You know what what would be nice? You know what we should try next time? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, okay. And you have a conversation about it.
But if they say that, then that's different.
Just because I'm not married to her or in
that's a different question. You basically was like, she told you was trash. How you gonna accept it? And so that's a different question between like we had sex and then she'd be like, I will. But we should try this. You know what I'm saying? Then I would be like, oh yeah, cool. That's
fair enough.
We can do that.
But we could. But we can do hypotheticals all day, right? Like if I asked it, you can take it and be like, well, if I was in a relationship with her, it would be like this.
Yeah.
If it was just somebody I met at the club. I'd be like, all right, bitch, bye. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't. But that's how I respond.
Like, it was just like a random, and I was just, I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. We all ain't have on our good game. I'll holler at you.
I ain't had no random before.
What?
Yeah.
You the bros.
I know. Hey, look, I've had one night stand in my life, and
that's a random.
But I'm saying it wasn't my fault. She did it. Like
still a random.
No, I'm saying like. I got lucky that night, or that morning or whatnot.
Like I'm saying,
oh no, that was 24, and even before then, I started having sex at a very young age. All the sex that I had look, women said that I talk too much. I was like, I just want to get to know the person I'm supposed to be doing this with. Like, I just couldn't understand how you could like talk to somebody at a club and feel like you've learned enough to like go have sex with them. Even though that was my plan.
But how much do you have to learn to like want to have sex? I'm not.
Oh no.
But you know what I'm saying? But like if we're talking about at the club, that's probably the ideal place. Because when you walk in the club, everybody dressed to impress. So everything is on display. Or at least packaged in a way where it's supposed to look pleasing.
Took nobody home from the club.
I've never done that.
No, me either.
I've never been lucky. I got friends that be out here. They nice.
I don't even. To be honest with you, when I go to the club, I really go to drink.
I don't go to clubs.
Dance. I don't even. That's why I was laughing. But yeah, but like when I did go, it was just I was with me and the guys. We hanging out. We having fun. We laughing. We joking. We dancing. We danced with a bunch of ladies. But I mean, we just never.
At what age did you get to there? Were you like that at 20?
Yeah.
20? Oh, you're a weirdo. Look, why is he so polished at such a young age?
Had a good time, man.
Can you imagine being 20 and a woman says, I want you.
I'm with you.
And I know you want me. Let's go back to my place. And you find her attractive. You're not going to be like, okay.
I'm gonna be okay.
Easy, me too.
I'm not saying.
I've been in a situation.
Man, stop. I
like
want to
that.
hear that. I just never took all these exceptions I'm around.
I look.
Me and Kingsley are more like.
How about this?
Different
Now?
experiences though, man. Like,
Yeah, because
man.
we wasn't never like I knew I could get the chick. I just wasn't on that. It was really about me.
I'm talking about the ones that you don't know you can get.
Yeah, I mean, even the chick that I talked about earlier. Like I met her. We was at
Man, ain't talking about no exceptions.
And so
man.
they, you know,
Man,
when you go to college and you
ahead,
outside, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm from Detroit, and so I went to college in Texas. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, you know, just the accent was just enough. You know what I'm saying? And so it don't necessarily mean, you know, I felt like if I had to leave then that means it cuts whatever I was going to do short. And so I wasn't never in that. I was be like, it was on my time. Right. You know what I'm saying? If you come to me, it's going to be on my time.
But that's such a young age to know that.
I felt like that too, though, man. I was that way.
I know. I just think it's the way y'all grew up and the exposure you had, because I feel like I was completely crippled.
Why?
Yeah, I've always had. I'm with you, man.
Yeah, it was on my time. So it'd be like, oh, let's go to my. No, I'm kicking it. Like I hit you up when I leave.
No,
you know what I'm saying? If I feel like it.
That's
you know
what I'm saying. I didn't grow up like that. I grew up like, shoot, if it can happen, you better make it happen. Like I didn't know how much I was really controlling. In my mind, I was like, I got another story to tell. And then when I told the story, he was like, that didn't happen to me. And I'm like, oh, so I'm the storyteller. So I gotta create different events, because I was getting, I guess maybe I had low self-esteem or something. And I enjoyed the praise from men that said, dang, you doing that? Yeah, I did that.
You know, that's something else though. I never talked about sex with my friends. I never talked about sex with my guy. I never.
Never.
Well, my bad.
Like,
move quietly, man.
Like,
I moved quietly, but I had like my group that I talked to.
Oh yeah, it wasn't like
I wasn't like, I didn't ever brag. Like I've never be like,
I've never.
If I didn't, like I don't know Kingsley, so if he be like, dog, you hear so or so, I'm like, nah, where you get that from? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where you get that from? I would just ask that. That's like none of his business. You know what I'm saying? And so I wasn't never that. But like, I went to school with my two best friends, and so we knew everything. You know what I'm saying? And we already, it was so bad. Like, if a chick be like, hey, and I'm like, what up, dog? Where you from? My boy would be like,
he just said, what up, though? Where you think he from?
Right. No, he'd be like, oh, you gone. Like, he'd be like, bitch, you gone. Like, he just, you know, and that's just how it was during that time. You know what I'm saying? And so.
It's still like that. If they ask a question, they're interested for some reason.
Yeah, but I
do
mean,
y'all have a preference?
Do I
got a preference? Like, do you prefer to be with a woman of a certain ethnic background? Like, does that matter? Is it like certain ones that were like written off where you like
all African?
You ain't got a name. I mean, any specific where you just, I don't want to put anybody on blast, but I'm just saying. But like, is that a thing where it's like there's a certain group or certain groups where it's like I prefer to be with these women because of whatever reason?
Of course, African American women. That's what I focus on. That's my preference. Petite, long, pretty hair. Like I have it down to.
Oh, really?
They feet got to be nice.
You're not gonna end up in any of that. You're not.
Definitely
because
not.
you think that's what you want.
Yeah, man.
It just sounds good.
It's gonna surprise you.
Somebody gonna have complete different things, like the characteristics, and they're gonna hypnotize you in a way you like, dang, no other woman has got me this way. She's gonna challenge you and make you better in ways that you never thought, and you're gonna realize your wants was not bigger than what was gonna make you better.
She gonna do things that make. She gonna surprise you. She gonna hear you always complaining about having to pay to go to the barbershop, and you gonna find out she know how to cut hair. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think that's gonna be it.
I'm telling you, I've been there, man.
But I mean,
been there.
Yeah,
been there.
But you have not been anywhere. You're still single.
No, listen.
You haven't
even. Y'all brothers thinking I'm this type of way. I'm telling you, man. I move quietly. I don't care.
How about this?
You proposed to somebody?
Have you ever been engaged?
Wait, what you mean you move quietly?
Have you been married? Have you had babies? Have you got somebody pregnant? You got somebody. You know how many experiences you have not had? Wow. It changes the way you view your walk.
Yes.
You are blessed. You are definitely a catch, because you know what? You aren't tainted with all these dumbass experiences we can talk about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's you know, like I'm like, OMEHGA, it took me a minute to actually have sex. You know, I had an older brother, and he would, we talked about it, and he was like, "If you can wait."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, reminds you, I go to his crib. He got women walking around naked and everything. I'm like, straight up, that's what you shit you on.
The shot.
Right. And so he like, what I'm saying?
That's tough to watch.
And so he like, if you can wait. You know what I'm saying? And he told me like it comes with so much when you actually start that having sex. You know what I'm saying? Emotional, mental. He was like, and and so I just always remember that. And man, that first time was a fluke. Like it was strictly a fluke. Like I shouldn't have done it. I was just, somebody called me out on my bluff, so my ego kicked in.
I'm curious on your on his selection though. When you say African American, you said petite, long hair, or you said long, pretty hair. I think you said.
What does pretty hair look like?
This is what I'm about to say.
Yeah,
so
long straight hair. Long straight hair. That's what she said.
You want straight hair?
Listen, bro. I'm gonna tell you something.
With like perm, creamy crack.
Yeah. Relax.
I'm like the natural.
I'm gonna tell you something. As a man who also loves
gonna
black
end up
women,
with a white woman.
Oh nah.
Yep, she gonna blow your mind. She was like, I got all them characteristics.
Nah.
Hey, my
With a
family
tan.
got black in it.
With a tan.
I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
No, what?
Don't say never.
No, I don't think it's gonna happen.
hey, get him! Get him! You always get me! Get him!
I want to hear his perspective so I can have a better argument.
He said never. It don't matter. Get him.
Because I'm not pursuing them. That's why I feel like it will never happen.
Oh,
I'm
that's
not,
who you end up with, the person you didn't pursue. Is that what you said?
No, meaning like
because
I'm not.
You don't pursue
if I
them.
was on a dating site, I wouldn't swipe on a white.
Oh, because
You know what I'm saying? Like, I
you
wouldn't
have
swipe
to
on a
look
white
for them
girl.
because you're gonna be with them.
That's how I feel.
Oh, okay.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you something. It's gonna bite you in the ass, and you're gonna love it. And she's probably not gonna look just like you said, anything like what you talking about.
And if you get it, that's dope. Congrats.
And I look, I would just say this, bro. Have what you want in your mind. Just my humble advice. Have what you want in your mind, but don't be closed-minded to what you want.
Yeah.
Because it might not come in the type of package that you're talking about.
It won't.
And it may be the most amazing thing you've ever experienced. And what you're going to do is you're going to look at it, you're going to be like, but it doesn't look like what I dreamt of. It doesn't look like what I imagined. It doesn't look like what I meant when I put that song together. You know what I'm saying? What was in my, and you're going to miss out on it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna miss out. And I'm not wishing that on you. But you know what I'm saying?
I get you.
But you'll miss out. If you look at the package and you turn it away, it can have everything in it that you've been thinking about, plus some. You know what I mean? So facts, come on, y'all. Like this is
Look within.
I'm not saying all that. I'm not saying that. Know what you if you going by the looks or whatever, all I'm saying is just don't be closed-minded to if it comes to you in a different form.
I do.
Right? Because anybody who is a religious person, right? They always say like the Lord speaks in mysterious ways, right?
Yeah.
And the Lord comes to you in whatever form. Your love might come to you in another form.
Because you think you're supposed to have something and you will get what you want. It just won't look like the way you thought.
Right. It's the journey. And
I'm not saying you're going to end up with a white woman for real. No, but I'm going to tell you this. I just want y'all to know, like, before I got married, I was totally into anything except a man. My father was like, I don't care who it is, just don't bring home a man. So I always loved women, no matter what they look like. But now where I am in life, I realize that nobody truly understands what I want in life other than an American black woman with the experience of my wife. And I'm not saying I couldn't have found something else, but it would have been so difficult to get to the piece where I am with my wife because she understands what people that look like us go through in America. I don't have to explain that stuff to her.
It feels good.
Yeah.
It feels good. And I know it sounds weird, but that used to be something. I didn't have a list. When we got these lists, I need a man that got this, and I never had a list, but I always wanted somebody that can understand where I'm coming from. Right. Because that part is so stressful. Being a black man in America, a black man living outside of America that is American, the stresses that we deal with, as you well know, is extremely hard to deal with. And being partnered with somebody who don't understand that, you not only got to deal with it out there, but now you got to explain it at home too. She don't understand why you mad. You get what I'm saying? She don't know how to be there for you. And I'm not saying that a woman that is not of our same race or ethnic background can't be there for you. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is having somebody that can be there for you feels fucking good. And
especially with less explanation.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just does.
Yeah.
It's like that stressor, that relief to come home and be able to understand what you going through, what your day is like, even to the point where you talking about it and you're like, oh my God, this motherfucker, this, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, baby, I know.
Look, listen to
I
this. You come home and say, I got pulled over by the police. And did you get a ticket? And then somebody says, baby, you all right? It's two different responses.
Right.
What happened?
We've got a budget for this now. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like certain people don't understand what we really have to go through, the trauma aspect. Like, what were you thinking when you got pulled over? Did you think that maybe this was the day? And then the person that you could have been interested in was like, you always getting tickets. Right. She worried about that versus
That's scary.
Last question. You said something about you used to like whatever, as long as you didn't come home with a man, right?
Yeah.
How do y'all feel about if you were to be, or if you met somebody, or find yourself in a relationship with somebody that has transitioned?
Transition what?
Transition from a man to a woman.
You talking to some church people now, man. It's about to be real.
Not gonna happen.
It's about to be real simple.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Nah.
So you didn't know y'all together for a year ish.
Then you lied. You didn't tell the truth. You weren't honest.
yeah,
You didn't give me a choice.
yeah.
And that's my biggest thing. Just give me a choice.
Right.
If you give me a choice, then I make my decision. And if I decide, then that's my choice. But if you make the decision for me, then I don't have no love for
It's
you.
not right. It's not fair.
It sounds good. No matter how much men lie to women about the intent.
It don't got nothing to do with my intent.
No, that's what I'm
this is
saying.
different.
It's always a double standard regardless.
Nah, but if I was a woman, I turned to a man, I would be honest.
No,
with
you
her.
like you're saying that she turned into a man. She was always whatever she was, but she was what is it called? She
Felt
was
that she was in the wrong body.
no, like they told her this is what she was, and she had to grow up that way. Because you think sexual equipment creates the idea of man and woman.
No,
Right. That's why I said she felt that she was in the wrong body.
But
That's
what I'm saying,
That's
for me,
she felt she was in the wrong body.
because I want kids. I want to reproduce, and even though she's changed into a woman, and we can't reproduce. And then two, if you didn't tell me, I'm not fooling with you. You on some hiding stuff.
Yeah,
and if
right.
you gonna hide from me, hide something that's that important.
Do you think when men wear gold chains and have a nice car that they really live in the way that they live in?
Yeah, but something
That's
that you
different,
buy
though.
that's an
No,
ornament.
it isn't. It's
Yes, it is.
deceiving in every way.
No.
Okay,
It's
that's
something that is
different.
something
That's
that's hang on, something that's an ornament. Something that's
No. Women are attracted to those ornaments. And what do? The
Right.
intent is
Okay,
just
okay,
what?
okay,
To
okay,
have
let me-
sex.
Yeah.
Okay, let me.
But that's not what he said.
But
What
yeah,
the
that's
scenario
different.
was that you were been dating for over a year, and then she didn't know. So if I have these ornaments, like he called it, you come into my house, that means you know what I have.
Oh, you
And
don't know that you in debt of the $500,000 to do
okay,
that?
look, let me.
I understand that, and so that's it. But I understand that, and then it goes back to her choice. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so she has to choose.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so-
but at
Okay.
the beginning, I don't think we know how to communicate.
Hang on. Okay, so when I say ornaments, right, I just thought about this in the most simplest form. Maybe you'll agree with me, maybe you won't.
Right.
But when I'm thinking about somebody that has transitioned, right, from man to woman or woman to man, right?
They've already got rid of their ornaments.
Well, they've made a, for the most part, a permanent decision. There have been
Right.
reversals, but for the most part, they made a permanent decision. We agree?
Right.
Okay. When we talk about gold and stuff, let's just say I'm not with a black woman. I have a white woman, and the white woman she falls into these stereotypes. And when I come home, I'm wearing this gold chain and I got the gold tooth and I'm going around, whatever, doing this and this. And she's like, I really don't like that. I can take the chain off and hang it up. I can take the gold tooth out. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But I can't do that when I've you can't compare that. You can't compare a necklace or a gold
I get my
tooth.
credit fixed.
You know what I'm saying? You can't compare a necklace or a gold tooth to a person that has transitioned from that. And that's what I'm saying. So I don't think that's
It's
a
a
fair
double standard.
But I don't think that I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that that's a fair comparison, because you're looking at something that can be changed, can be modified, can even be gotten used to. Maybe if you explain to her what the chain means to you, maybe she'll grow to accept it.
Right. See, for me, it's just a simple fact that we're dating, and if you didn't tell me, like I said, it's a choice. I think the communication has to be open. That's something we talk about. And if we've been together for a year and you never thought to bring it up, and then I find out, I have a problem with that.
Oh, that's completely bad. It sounds like I'm defending. But look, I totally believe like when anybody deceives anybody, it's bad.
Right.
Yeah. But I'm saying it's very difficult to reveal that information to somebody because
after a year?
No, I'm saying like even in the beginning when you was like, let's just keep it real, like it's hard to do that.
I agree.
I couldn't imagine doing that. Like if I was like, I'm stuck in this body and I'm being punished and I gotta like play this game with everybody.
That you know what? But that's a different battle that I do sympathize with them for. But just because you're going through this battle doesn't mean that, or it should give you the right to mislead.
Me and a lot of women every day, B.
But this is different. If this person knows, because they've obviously transitioned to a woman, and they know that I'm attracted to women, and I don't know that they have transitioned to a woman, then if
she's a woman, if she's always thought she was a woman, she was labeled to be a woman.
But what I'm saying is, maybe that's not what I want. He made a very good point. Mel said, I want to have kids.
Oh yeah.
So for me, if I want to have kids, you've given me this.
Now you made me fall in love with somebody that can't even have kids.
Right. And now, and who knows, maybe the person will say, I will stay with you because I do love you. But look what they've sacrificed. Children is a big deal. That's how we all got here.
Yeah, that's my
You know what I'm saying?
thing.
That's a big deal.
I mean, I'm not going out there.
And the lies as well. So I agree with you.
Just the choice. That choice of it all. I
can dig that.
That's what I would be mostly mad at. You know what I'm saying? And that's my biggest thing. Give me my choice. Like, you know, you don't make my decision.
And be honest with me.
And be honest with me. So if it's something that we need to make a decide, we need to decide.
Do you think women lie more than men?
That's not
I'm not. No, the reason why I said no, you missing my point because he said just be honest with me, right?
Right.
Most relationships fail because of men, not women.
I agree. I agree. Some relationships.
Hold on, you don't know what?
I don't know. I don't know the facts. I don't know the numbers.
I agree that some relationships fail. I said some.
Majority of relationships fail because men think a relationship's supposed to look like the way they were taught.
How about this? Relationships fail because the two people in the relationship don't do the job to the fullest potential.
I didn't ask enough for questions. I didn't ask enough, give enough information.
But I don't have numbers.
Failed relationships because I didn't understand.
How many relationships have you failed because you didn't understand?
All of them until now.
That's my point. And guess what? Men still control the narrative, right?
I don't know about now, bro.
What do you mean by controlling?
Everybody has a voice right now.
As far as like, she wasn't for me, but you don't know, you couldn't give. She don't know why you wasn't for her.
Right.
Like we still like think that it's supposed to look a certain way.
Yeah, I think growing now as a man and understanding more, I realized like a lot of the relationships that failed is because of me. You know, because I didn't understand my role
and
as
you're a good guy.
You know, I was trash before, but you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't understand my role as a
waste
man.
paper bag and trash.
And so, you know, and I had to grow myself. And once I grew, I understood like the power that I have as a man and the understanding. And so looking back at previous relationships, I could have made any of them work from what I know now, you know what I'm saying? But like going back to what John said, and what you were saying, Omega, like what you get from your, like the woman that you're looking for is the one that's going to grow you into the man that you're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So what I looked for in a woman was not my wife, you know what I'm saying? But I fell in love with her. We had our kid. And when I tell you like her being in my life grew me substantially, you know what I'm saying? Like I never had to live up to her image of what a man should be. You know what I'm saying? Because most girls, if they have a father and a good father, this is what they think a man is. And so you have to live up to this expectation. So she has this expectation. But my wife, you know what I'm saying, didn't have a father. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to figure out what it means to actually be a man and a husband and a father. And so I can be the best man and father and husband that I can be. You know what I'm saying? And so I received the blueprint from my dad and my brothers, but just like any blueprint, I could rearrange the rooms.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because there are already generational curses that you got to battle amongst your own family. Right. And so I had to identify them. I had to heal from them. I had to forgive from them. And then I had to replace them. You know what I'm saying? And so when I renewed my mind, the Bible, and so I had to figure out what it is that I need to replace that with. You know what I'm saying? And so that's when I went on a journey of searching. And when I found it, when I tell you, like, a woman is by design is supposed to follow the man. You know what I'm saying? But they're not gonna follow any old man. They're gonna follow the right man. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of battles that we have as men is that we're not leading the way we're supposed to. And so when you think about like why a relationship is not working, well, I wasn't leading the way I was supposed to. I was still out here trying to conquer. You know what I'm saying? I was, doing my own thing. You know what I'm saying? Or
he was colonizing.
When you say colonizing,
let one of his friends mess with somebody that he may have liked. Like, man, I've been messing with her.
Right. That stuff is deep.
That's what I'm saying. Like we was all taught these bad behaviors.
Right. But it's up to us to break it though, and that's why we.
What?
You don't know what. Come on, young man.
Let's go.
No kids.
Let's round this out. You don't know what. Let's finish it up.
I don't think it's fair to sit and say, oh, because a man didn't get it right, that's why the relationship didn't work. I think it should go both ways.
You don't have enough
though,
information.
Right?
You don't have enough information to say either one.
Yeah. No, I'm saying he can only give his like. You think we want you to lose in this situation? We're just saying what we've recognized through our walk,
right? And so when I say you don't have enough information, what I've learned is that I had to understand, like my wife do certain things, but she do certain things because that's how she was raised. You know what I'm saying? And so it allowed me to have patience. You know what I'm saying? As she changed certain things that she can change, you know what I'm saying? Or willing to change. And then I also have to have patience and realize some stuff is not going to change, or it may take a real long time. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so when I asked you should have changed by now. You know what I'm saying? And being from divorce, a dysfunctional divorce household, I don't have to be here. You know what I'm saying? And that was because of my upbringing. I don't have to be here. I can choose to leave, and I know I'll be all right. And then for her upbringing, because she didn't have parents, it was abandonment. You know what I'm saying? And so my coping was leaving, and that was her fear. You see what I'm saying? So I had to change those things. And so like when I say like that grew me to be able to say face my own issues and grow as a man. And you don't know that because you're not in a relationship that's shining a light on your insecurities, on the things that you have that you don't, that from your upbringing. Right. So right now you thinking, oh, I got these degrees. I understand.
Traveled the world.
I travel the world. I can communicate good. Yeah, you can communicate good.
Wait till you
but can you communicate when you pissed? You know what I'm saying?
You know what I want you to know? Like what's going on right now? We're adding to your tool belt of experiences that you've never had. Because if you didn't have these ideas, whatever happens to you going forward, you are only going to respond with the experiences that you have.
Right.
But if you hear ours, you'll be like, this might be one of them situations where I'm not supposed to look at it the way that I've been looking at it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But when you said, I don't know, of course you don't know. Because you don't have enough experience. You think we want you to lose? We's like, no, man, you're doing it wrong, but you got to do it this way so you lose. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. No, we just trying to give you more things to your tool belt.
Yeah. Gotcha. And it's not
right or wrong. It's just like, but be aware.
Yeah.
I was about to say, we're not even giving tools. We're just giving awareness.
Yeah.
We're giving awareness.
Well, that is.
Because he's going to have to figure out what tools to use based on the scenario that he's in.
But at least he knows it's on his belt.
But at least he can recognize it.
For
you know
sure.
what I'm saying? Like this is what you know how it is when they say like you see a train wreck or you see an accident about to happen, and you see the person crossing the street, and then you look and you see the bus, and you see the person in the middle of the street, and you see the bus and speed up and ain't slowing down, and you're like, oh, you recognize it. Like you should run. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like this is it.
Yeah, you're a Christian man, right? Yeah. And so I would advise you to actually really study what it means to be a dude. You know what I'm saying? Like a man. You know what I'm saying? And so it'll kind of fill in some of those gaps, you know what I'm saying, that you don't necessarily have, but it's shining a light on some of the things that you like, And so what I realized, like my dad, you know, my dad was, you know, in my life. I was live with my dad. And so he taught me a lot of stuff, but there was things that I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't even know I didn't know until I started reading and researching. I had to tell myself, I don't know shit to really unpack what I did and what I didn't know. And so once I did that, I started studying, I started researching, I started really looking into what it means to walk in this light as a man on here, you know what I'm saying? And then you got your own culture, like you're a black man. What does it mean to be a black man? You know what I'm saying? And so that's a different thing. And so when you start, the best thing that you can give a wife or your kids is the best version of you. You know what I'm saying? And when I mean the best version of you, like it's the whole you. You know what I'm saying? Physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, a whole you. You know what I'm saying? And so if you're not placed in situations where it challenges you, you know what I'm saying? Like when I grew up, I saw my parents, you know, they cussed each other out because they were hurt. And so my form of communication was, well, I don't call you out your name, so we good. You know what I'm saying?
He just raised it up from what the standard he thought that he's better than.
Right. And so that can't be my standard.
And yeah, and it still was bad. It just looked better than what he was used to.
Right. And so if I don't call you out, I'd be like, no, woo. And so I had to realize, man, I got to figure out how to communicate better. You know what I'm saying? And it's an ongoing journey. I'm not going to say you're going to be perfect, but you got to make some steps. And you got to take some steps, and you got to get there, and you got to put something in place. Like we were saying earlier, you got to be strategic about being better. And if you're not strategic about being better, it's like a ship in a sea with no navigation. You're just floating.
And being average.
Yeah. But he's I mean, I hope you taking these gems and what we talking about. I hope everybody is learning something today. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's not easy to have that conversation about sex and, you know, dabbing into the relationships and whatnot. And I agree with everything you just said. The only piece that I would add to that is just because, yes, we do want to bring your best self because you want to give your family, your loved ones, your best self. But don't forget to communicate the part of yourself that needs help.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't communicate the part of yourself that needs help, you're not going to get better. Therefore, you're not going to be able to bring your best self to the table.
Right.
If you don't communicate the part of yourself that needs help, you're not going to get better. Therefore, you're not going to be able to bring your best self to the table.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you keep that under wraps, you know, when it does come out, it's going to come out at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
For sure.
So it is what it is. Melle, Kingsley, we appreciate y'all coming through.
Man, likewise, brother. Likewise.
Been a great sit down. Of course, John D. Feels good, man.
For sure.
Rounding out this season. Listen up, y'all. That is, we've been visited today, of course, by Mr. Kingsley and Mr. Melle. And
time stamp. Melle never settles.
Well, y'all check it. He is John D. I'm OMEHGA, and this is Diverse Clarity. This is where we have those thought-provoking conversations about things that matter and some that don't. We'll catch you next episode.
Boom.